Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Texas Hill Country Fishing Report with Greg Welander of Upstream on the Fly. How are you doing, Greg?
Hey Marvin, I'm doing okay. Given the circumstances, I'm doing pretty much like what everybody else is doing, sitting around the house.
Absolutely. It's a constantly evolving situation. So what's the state of play on fishing and guiding in the hill country of Texas?
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. First off, I found out after recording our last fishing show that a shelter-in-place order was put in effect, and that was including the Austin, Texas, and surrounding counties of Austin, starting the next day. And if I would have known that at the time of the report, I would never have said, "Hey, this weekend looks good for fishing." So just wanted to throw that out there. But I have put guiding on hold. And I myself have not been out on the waters for the last 3 weeks. I do know that cabin fever is mounting, though. I feel it. And last week, our Texas governor, in his latest executive order regarding the coronavirus pandemic, he recognized hunting and fishing as a healthy way to be in the outdoors. Most of our Texas parks are open. However, you've kind of got to check before you head out there, and their park offices are not open. You have to pay online if you wanted to go enjoy a park for the day. But there was a recent article that I read in the Angling Trade magazine, and it followed up with an online, I think on Trouts Unlimited, and it was about to fish or not to fish during the outbreak. And we're all anglers, just because guiding's on hold, I've even put fishing on hold. And so when I saw that, to fish or not fish, I thought it was worth a read, right? And so to touch on some of the highlights that I pulled away from that article, they interviewed a doctor, Dr. Cliff Watts, who is an angler, okay? He was an angler his whole life. He's fished his whole life. So he likes to be out on the water. So the first question that came to play was, is it okay to fish in a lockdown or shelter in place in state, right? And of course, that's different for different parts of the country, of course. But here in Texas, since, the governor did say it's healthy to be in the outdoors, I'm going to come away with, this right here. Yes, I believe that fishing is safe. And these are the words from the doctor, as long as you're doing it alone. He said the gas pump or the convenience store that you might visit on the trip is probably the most potent risk of exposure or transmission. Not the water, not the fish, and also not driving in a truck or vehicle to your destination to fish locally. However, there are safeguards that we all have to put in place if we do need to go to the gas station. I mean, you've got disposable gloves. So even if you were to touch the nozzle, you're going to be okay as long as you're not touching your face or you're not eating before you wash your hands. It's not going to just seep in through your skin, but it's very easy, though, to rub your eyes or itch your ears. So that was interesting information. And then the second question was fishing from a boat. Is it okay to fish from a boat? So when you look at most rafts or drift boats, you've got a rower and you've got a fisher person, which are generally less than 6 feet apart. So as we're being told, try to keep your distance 6 feet at minimum. So the person, downwind of a sneeze or even talking or coughing would say maybe be the guide right in the middle seat. So it's not recommended to fish from a raft or a drift boat unless you're by yourself. And of course, fishing from those type of boats by yourself as a guide, that doesn't work anyway. You need somebody else really to man the oars for you. So to summarize all of this, fishing is great if done alone or with a household member, okay? But also encouraging hyper-local fishing whenever possible, okay? So you don't want to get in a car and drive 3 or 4 hours across the state to go fishing. Look at that neighborhood pond or look at that creek that is, just down the road or a small stream. But I would stay away from it if you pull up and, there's a lot of cars and there's a lot of people out doing the same thing you thought I'm doing.
Got it.
There's kind of the take. Yeah.
Yeah. And we were talking before we started recording, you guys are getting a ton of rain, right? So you're getting kind of, 3 to 4 inches of rain. So let's just say, you're local, you can fish responsibly. What are you going to see in the next, say, week or so in terms of conditions?
Well, over the last 3 to 4 days, starting actually Friday, we've had 3 inches of rain. We've had cool weather. I mean, we've actually been in the 40s, topping out and maybe in the 50s since Friday. We're on a warming trend, though. We are going to start to warm up midweek, but it looks like that same pattern is going to drop back in come Friday or Thursday of this week. So once again, we're calling for, at least the weathermen are forecasting maybe 3 to 4 inches of rain, with some temperatures maybe back in the 50s and 60s for the high. So the good thing is we're getting rain. It's getting into our tributaries, getting into our rivers and streams. That's a good thing. And so it doesn't feel quite as bad since, I'm not out on the water, because the waters are a little blown out. We've got a lot of water running in the rivers right now. But of course, the lakes are fishable, but a lot of the boat ramps are closed. I know Lake Travis is a lake that's close to me that I frequent often for angling, and all the LCRA parks are closed. And then there's a couple county parks, which are Travis County parks. Those are also closed. So unless you've got a boat in a marina or if you got lakefront property, I think you're pretty much out of luck to even go to Lake Travis. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like, too, if you've been getting a lot of water and it's kind of been unseasonably cool, it sounds like it's going to be a little tough, too.
Yes, conditions would be tough. So I don't have any plans, even though cabin fever set in pretty hard with me. I don't have any plans to really get out this week because it's just not going to be even worth fishing, even if you do get out, other than being able to just get outside. But and that's okay. I mean, getting outside is a good thing. You just need to do it where there's not any other people around you. So
yeah, or you can even get caught up on all the things that you're supposed to do that when you would go fishing instead, so that you can go fishing later without getting in trouble. Maybe organize your gear, get your fly boxes pulled together, or there've been a lot of great online outreach opportunities from shops and personalities and guides in terms of Instagram and Facebook Live stuff. Maybe take a look at that and spend a little time on that, and maybe learn something. And we'll hope to have a little bit more productive fishing report the next time we talk in 2 weeks.
Well, we can only hope. That's a great suggestion, Marvin. I think our listeners should take heart to that. It's definitely a good time to do the things that you put off because you are working and fishing. Get all those things done around the house.
Absolutely. And folks, we love questions on the Articulate Fly. If you'll send us the question on the Articulate Fly Facebook page, I'll send you some Articulate Fly swag, and we'll enter you in a drawing for some really cool stuff that Greg is going to pull together at the end of the season. And before I let you hop and get on with your evening, and I think we decided it was a whiskey evening given the weather in the Texas Hill Country, why don't you let folks know where they can find you so they can talk fishing with you and book you on the other side of all this stuff?
Okay. Yes, you can find me online. I've got a website. It's going to be upstreamonthefly.com. I'm also over on Instagram and Facebook under Upstream on the Fly. And you'll see myself there with my name underneath it, Greg Welander, under Upstream on the Fly over on Instagram. So, yeah, definitely reach out. I've definitely got a calendar wide open. So hopefully we can get through this pandemic sooner than later, because definitely looking forward to getting back out on the water.
Absolutely. And folks, fish responsibly if you can. Look out for yourself. Look out for your fellow man. And we're going to all be fishing together soon on the other side of all this. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Greg.
Thank you.